Eastern Ukraine, January 2026. The sky is empty. No moon, no stars, just a low, persistent hum that refuses to fade. At first, it feels distant, almost harmless. One drone, then another, then 10, then dozens. Within minutes, the night fills with shapes moving at different speeds and altitudes. Some buzz loudly, crude and obvious. Others glide in near silence. A few behave strangely, reflecting radar signals that don't match any known strike profile. This is not chaos. This is design. Within hours, substations erupt in white flashes, power plants shut down, entire districts disappear into darkness. Hospitals switch to diesel generators, water pumping stations stall, mobile networks weaken. This is not a raid meant to scare civilians. This is not even a conventional bombing campaign. This is systematic strangulation, executed night after night with mechanical precision. From Moscow's perspective, there is nothing emotional about this strategy. No speeches, no dramatic escalations, no red lines crossed on television. This is pure economy of force. Drones are no longer a tactical supplement for Russia. They have become the cheapest and most sustainable way to impose strategic damage without risking pilots, aircraft, or expensive missiles. Every night, between 100 and 200 unmanned platforms cross Ukrainian airspace, sometimes more. The composition of each wave is deliberate. Roughly 60 to 70% are Geron-2 drones, long-range one-way systems carrying 40 to 50 kilogram warheads. They are slow, loud, and relatively easy to detect. They are not meant to be unstoppable. They are meant to be numerous. Another 20 to 30% are decoys, crude airframes with minimal electronics, often costing under $10,000. No warhead, no precision. Their only mission is to force air defense crews into firing decisions, to light up radars, to drain interceptor stocks. The final fraction is where the evolution becomes clear. Fiber-optic guided FPVs immune to jamming. Lancet loitering munitions, hunting infrastructure nodes, and ISR drones using onboard AI to identify targets during the final phase of flight. This is layered saturation warfare. Decoys arrive first to trigger defenses. Jammers follow to degrade situational awareness. Real strike drones arrive last, slipping through gaps created by exhaustion and depleted magazines. It is not brute force, it is pressure applied methodically until the system begins to crack. Ukraine's air defense network is not weak. In fact, it is among the most sophisticated currently operating under combat conditions. Patriot batteries intercept drones with high success rates. NASAMS and Iris-T systems shred targets nightly. Gepard guns carve lethal corridors through low-altitude airspace. On paper, the defense is effective. In reality, the math is merciless. One Patriot PAC-3 interceptor costs between $4 and $6 million. One Geron-2 drone costs a fraction of that. Even if Ukraine intercepts 90% of incoming drones, the economic exchange overwhelmingly favors Russia. Short-range guns burn through ammunition in hours. Crews operate under constant stress. Reload times increase. Human reaction times slow. Missile inventories shrink faster than they can be replaced. Russia understands this perfectly. That is why the swarm grows larger and smarter every month. Newer drones rely less on external guidance and more on onboard processing. In the final 10 to 20 kilometers, they recognize infrastructure even under heavy electronic attack. Fiber-optic guidance makes jamming irrelevant. Predictable flight paths disappear. Defenders are forced to react instead of anticipate. NATO is watching this unfold with growing alarm, not through headlines, but through classified feeds and battlefield assessments. Because the same tactics used over Ukraine today could be applied against NATO territory tomorrow.
And here, the problem becomes uncomfortable. Most NATO countries no longer have meaningful short-range air defense in depth in Europe. Many systems have been donated, retired, or exist only in limited numbers. There is no alliance-wide, mass-produced, low-cost anti-drone interceptor available today. Programs exist, but they are measured in dozens, not thousands. Russia can sustain nights of 100 to 200 drones indefinitely. NATO would need to produce thousands of cheap interceptors every month just to keep pace. That industrial capacity does not exist right now. This creates a strategic paradox. NATO has the most advanced air defense technology on Earth, but it lacks volume. Russia lacks the most advanced technology, but it has volume. And in prolonged drone warfare, volume wins. This winter campaign is designed specifically to exploit that imbalance. Attacks begin after 10 at night. Visual detection becomes harder. Cold temperatures degrade man-pads batteries. Energy grids are most vulnerable during freezing conditions. Every blackout forces Ukraine to divert resources, repair crews, generators, fuel, manpower. Every diversion weakens the front line incrementally. Russia is not trying to win the war with drones alone. It is trying to make victory economically impossible for the defender. The drone swarm is the visible weapon. The invisible weapon is production. Geran 2 output is measured in thousands per year. Lancet production is even higher. Decoy drones are effectively unlimited. Ukraine cannot shoot them all down. It can only shoot down enough to survive. NATO understands the trend. Emergency meetings are happening. Stockpiles are being moved quietly. New programs are being accelerated. But acceleration takes time. Russia is operating now. The asymmetry is brutal. One side fights with $1,000,000 interceptors, the other fights with $1,000 drones, and the $1,000 side is winning the economic war. This was never meant to be a fair fight. It is a lesson written in blackout maps, radar logs, and production numbers. Sophistication loses when sustainability dominates, and this fight is far from over. Russia has turned the drone into its most powerful strategic tool, not because it is the most advanced weapon, but because it is the most scalable. Every night, the numbers grow. Every night, defenses thin. Every night, the gap widens. NATO sees the math. It understands the timeline. The only question left is whether the equation can be changed before the lights go out for good. If you want daily breakdowns of the weapons, tactics, and industrial realities actually shaping this war, subscribe and turn on notifications. Here, we don't chase headlines, we analyze power.